Greetings all. Welcome to live stream 56. 56. Did I say 56? I wish I would have brought my water in here, but I forgot it. So, who we got? We got Lyle. Hello, Lyle. Hello, radios. Bonnie is here. My water to the rescue. Thank you, honey. Where was I? Guys, let me say real quick. About a half an hour ago, my finger was on the button of canceling today. Not because I wanted to, because I want to live stream, but I'm a little under the weather. So, we're going to go the distance today, but I'm just going to tell you guys I'm a little under the weather today. So we'll get through it. But I get occasionally vertigo pretty good, and I have it now. So we'll get through it. I am dandy. It's something I have dealt with my whole life. But let's see who else is here. Jeffrey is here. Good afternoon, sir. Mike is here. Cold coffee and a hot summer in the hot summer sun. Are you guys still cooking out there? It's 90 degrees here right now. Hot coffee. I have to have hot. Jeffrey says, been a cloudy, warm, and wet weekend. Hardly a day. The sun shined in the past week. In for more rain next week. We've been lucky. We haven't had a whole lot of rain. And the last few days, it's been in the mid 80s. So it's been really nice. Really nice. Hey, Barry. How are you, my friend? Eric is here. Good to see you as usual. Remjet is here. Always lovely when Remjet pops in. And Lyndon. Hi, Mike. Take it easy. Yeah, it's going to be a nice, easy stream. I got some things going on here I want to talk about. No shame in taking care of you. Yeah, I know, Mike. But these are so much fun to me. It's hard. I mean, if I can, sit here and get through it and have fun with my people, I will. Man, we're okay. Take your day. I know, Lyle. Thank you, guys. I'll be fine. I just get, I get dizzy sometimes, and I have really bad tinnitus where it rings like crazy. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's not curable, of course. But I'm fine. I don't want to talk about my ailing health. Hello, Jeffrey from London. Oh, Lyndon says in the UK about 20 degrees Celsius. So that's around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, right, Lyndon? 68, I think. And I know that because 68 degrees Fahrenheit and 20 degrees Celsius is the perfect temperature for black and white developing. Gummies, bud, could help. Gummies, I did not know that. Is that what, to keep the jaws moving, or the sugar, or just because you like gummies? What do you think of the pictures I sent you yesterday? Was that the film? I responded, Bonnie. Is that what you were talking about? I saw the thing you sent me. Learn something new every day. Yeah. Bonnie, is that that's the picture you sent me? You said, was it a good deal? Oh, gummies. Oh, gummies. I got you, Mike. Yes, the 100% overpriced film. It didn't look overpriced to me. Well, maybe I read it wrong. It looked like, hey, Steven, I replied to you today, just a couple hours ago. And I got your stuff. I'll get it in the mail this week. Bonnie, let me make sure, because maybe I read it wrong. So Bonnie sent me this Kodak 50D. It's original 50D, recanned as labeled. $7.62. I think you're being, what do they call it? Facetious or no? Sarcastic, because that's the price. $7.62, and that's the film, right? Is that 16 or if that's 35, right? Oh, it's 16. It says 16 on the can. I don't know. I thought it was a good deal. Medicinal. Antiquarian. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll be fine as the day goes on. Like I said, it doesn't happen very often. I mean, a couple times a year, really. 3 or 4 times a year tops, that I get like this crazy dizziness, but it fades. I already know it's got to have something to do with my crazy ears. $7.62 overpriced. Here in UK, Press Guardian. Here in UK Press, The Guardian, this Saturday, a page devoted to the resurgence in film. Yes, I love that. Nothing joys me more than when I see young people getting involved in film these days too. It's really exciting. I have a film I want to show you guys, and clearly it's young people having fun with a roll of film. It's found film, and I'm not showing it on a found film episode, and you'll see why in a minute, because there's not a lot to it. But I want to show it to you guys anyway, because I hate to just not show it. But it's color. It is, I think it was 50D. I don't think I wrote it down. I think it's 50D. I could find out really quick. But let me look. Or no, maybe it's 500T. I'm going to give you the answer to that question in 3. I'm going to count slow. 2. Let's see, the roll number is 0257. Oh, okay, so maybe I'm not going to be super quick. My computer is really slow today. But it's interesting. It is 500T. Okay, very good. Vision 3 500T. So it's a relatively new stock. Well, it's, I mean, I don't know. They started making Vision 3 in 2015, I believe. So it's somewhere around 2015 or newer. This came. I'm not going to show it just yet. You guys got your popcorn ready. What did I miss from Jeffrey? Hello from London. Oh, going to Scotland tomorrow. It's going to pour. Oh, you're not going to be able to film, are you, Jeffrey? That stinks. It's going to be pouring down rain. We get our share of rain here in Central Florida. Let's see. I've seen people post and they mess up the decimal wrong. 7620. Maybe that would be more. That would make more sense. Yeah. Just drop more crap to the storage unit. Hey, Jim is here from Greece. Hello. From the charcoals of Greece. Maybe you saw the fires here. I envy you because you have governors who love your country. Nice t-shirt, but danger. Don't drink decaf. I don't drink decaf anymore. I did for a while thinking it would help my ears. You try everything when you have no cure for something, but I drink full blend, all caffeine coffee now. I saw that, Stephen. I got several emails from people talking about that, and I looked at their film, and as soon as I hit their FPP has this new film called Wolfen UN54. It's released relatively recently. I don't even know if it's actually available for sale yet, but it is on their site. I saw it, and it said sold out. As soon as I got the email, I clicked it, and I went to their site, and it said sold out. Now, I don't know if they're leaving it at sold out till they get it in stock, or what it is, but I know it's 37 and change US for a roll, and I'm dying to try it. I feel like that's been out in 16 millimeter, has it not? Decaf good for developing film. That's about it, right? Oh man. 80 Swedish. Yeah, it says definitely 762. You're good. Oh, that's right. You're moving. Radios makes me think of Carlin's stuff. George Carlin. So yeah, I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But I want to show you guys what I was. You guys remember this if you followed me for at least a couple of years. I turned this camera into Kodacam 40. Now I get a lot of emails from people, and they have found film. A lot of them have found film. They bought a camera like the one we're going to show you today, and they have old found film, and they want to send it to me and see if I can get an image out of it. And I love that. It's great. Well, there was this lady in Kentucky, and she sent me a roll of film, Kodachrome. I was all excited. She's all excited. I haven't even gotten with her yet to let her know that I received. So if you're watching it, you know who you are. Nice young lady that found a roll of film in a barn, in a camera, in one of those Can-Ham cameras, the like the Kodak XL33 or XL55, you know, those smushy cameras. And she found this roll of film. I can take it out of this because, unfortunately, a couple of unfortunately's with this roll. Unfortunately, it was not fully exposed. I did the pencil test. That I created this little pencil test. It's pretty easy to do. And you just center the film on a pencil or a pen or anything and see which side it falls when you let go. If it falls on the label, then most of the film is probably on this side, and that's where most of the film starts. If it falls on the other side, and I start inching it over a little bit too, and if it continues to fall on the label side, that means that this cartridge is more than likely very little footage has been shot. It did not say exposed, but interestingly, I want to show you guys what this film looks like. It's crazy, crazy. I've never seen film deteriorated this bad. Now, she did find it in a barn, and yes, there's a little bit of mold on it, and I probably shouldn't be touching it, but it's K40. Nothing spectacular about the label, but then look at the film itself. Okay, so that's what it looked like when I first took it out of the out of the package, and I actually have a close-up photo I want to show you right here. This is what the film looks like. Check that. And by the way, that's after running it in the camera for a few seconds to get it to move along. And it did move along. So that's what the film looks like. So what I decided to do is I'm going to actually finish the roll off. And I'm using this camera because this camera I paid about 10 bucks for. And the meter is messed up in it. It overexposes everything by as high as it will go. I think it keeps the lens open at 1.3, which is perfect for Kodachrome. So I'm going to finish this roll, or whatever was on it, you know, whatever's left, which there may not be anything shot on it, and then try to develop it and see just what kind of crazy funky results we might actually get. If there's a tiny bit of actual emulsion and exposable film left on that cartridge, we're going to find out. I got stuff I want to sell. You got stuff you're selling. Nice. Hey, Rich is here. Hey, Rich. Their Euro store has both Wolfen Color 400 and UN 54 in stock. Okay, so they must have it available then, Bonnie. They just don't. It was sold out as soon as I clicked the link on FPP. They also have 200 foot of Super 8 film on cores now. And I can now, hopefully, develop 100 feet of Super 8 film at a time. Thanks to my good buddy over at Pixology Digital Solutions. You guys remember that, right? I have not experimented with it too much yet. That's coming still. But right now, look at it. It's rigged up for Super 8. And you can't get Super 8 on a 100-foot reel of that Lomo style big one. You guys, I know you're eyeballing that. Let me show you that too. If you don't want caffeine, don't drink coffee. Yeah, I know. It makes me wonder, did I freeze or something? Why won't that scroll? Oh, there we go. Don't drink coffee. The chemicals for caffeine removing are work. I've heard about that. And you know what a lot of people don't understand either is the darker the roast typically, and it's not by a lot, but the darker the roast and the more bitter, the less caffeine it actually has. I like a more middle roast, like from light to middle. I don't like bitter coffee. And so I think mine actually has a little tiny bit more caffeine in it. Preferably on the 2 pencils used in your horror show. Oh man, the horror film fest. We kind of got away from that, didn't we? Yes, you're right, Lyle. I'm using one of the 2 pencils and 400-foot rolls of double 8. They have 400-foot rolls of double 8, Bonnie. How much is that? Dang. That'd be a nice little investment. Yikes. Cool looking patterns. It's interesting, is it not? I'm just dying to see what it looks like. Yeah, it's really rough, Steven. I've processed now thousands. It's in the 1,000 plus rolls of Super 8 film. And I've never seen a roll that looked like that bad. I mean, it's truly... I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna run it for a second. I'm gonna make a mark on it here. With pencil is all I got. And we're gonna run it for a second just to triple check. See if the pencil went away. Oh, the pencil didn't go away, so it's not running the film. Well, then let's hand wind it forward. Oh yeah, no, it's just as bad. You guys see this? Watch. Look at that. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this live stream and not watching it, but you should see this film. Yeah, that's really bad. I don't know if I'm able to free it up enough to get it to work in the camera. I thought it was rolling, but I guess it wasn't. But if I'm able to, it's going to be really interesting to see. If I can't, then I'm just going to pull the film anyway and process it and maybe try to get something cool out of just the blank emulsion. I don't know. Film or Petri dish? Adrian Cousins would like that experiment. Yeah, he does a lot with Kodachrome. Not camera-wise yet, but as-is stuff. You're just trying to unload some things. You're a true collector. Maybe the penicillin protected the emulsion. Sounds like a 50s horror movie. The fungus that ate my film. Now you're onto something, Jeffrey. Jim says the film exposed alteration looks... That was much... Yes. No, Jim, I know exactly what you're saying. It was in a barn in Kentucky. And there's some significance to this area. Apparently, we had a little conversation in an email. Do you guys ever heard of the Cornbread Mafia? They were a little gang of guys in the 80s and 90s that were involved in a lot of cultivation and growing of marijuana and things like that. But apparently it was around, I'm not going to talk too much about that, but it was around that era and in that general area, I guess, that they're thinking this film may have been left in this barn. So it's too bad that it's not fully exposed, because it would have been really cool to kind of figure out, you know, maybe it did have something to do with that. I don't know. Another batch of this stuff. Hey everyone, just sweating on the bus. Hey Rich, hang in there, my friend. It's always good when you pop in, though. I do too, Mike. I definitely want 400 foot at double 8. You know, one of these days we should do a batch buy. I don't know. It seems like it'd be kind of cool. Weed film. Now that's dank. ASMR film movement. 400 foot rolls are listed as on request. I wonder if they only do them if you buy a certain amount of it or something, maybe. I don't know. But they do also have 1,000 foot Super 8 rolls. Is it that same stock, Bonnie? That's very interesting. It might be more expensive for me, and then I have to deal with getting it here and hopefully not getting sort of cooked in the x-ray machines on the way here. But wow, That would be fun. And I got some reloadable cartridges, some of those little Russian reloadable Super 8 cartridges. It would be nice having a 1,000-foot batch of that stuff. I'm in on the batch buy, but Super 8 or 35. Yeah, I would definitely be interested in Super 8. I'd do single. There's not much I wouldn't be interested in on the batch buy. I got one of those metal 8 cartridges found in a camera. Don't know if it was shot. I assume it was. Jeffrey, that's the little double 8 one, right? That you flip over. Is that the one? Yeah. Those are hard to know. Excuse me. It's hard to know for sure if those were exposed or not without pulling the film and actually doing it. It's a lot easier to know if it was half exposed because your film starts on the right side on side 1. So if it's on the left side on side 1, then you know at least half of it was exposed. Because when you flip it over and you shoot the other side, it starts over again. Now it's on the correct unexposed side again. Yeah, Mike, I agree. I agree. I feel I could probably get involved in that. I mean, Jeffrey, if you feel like sending it, I'll take a peek at it for sure. Christian's here. Hey, everybody. By the way, not sure about the Wolfen UN54. I have seen Fomapan 100R. Same speed. Looks fantastic on 16, Super 8, and 8. Probably better. Not sure if... yeah. Fomapan, black and white film, specifically the black and white stocks, specifically even more so in 35mm 100 ISO, Christian, is my favorite black and white film. Still film. So yeah, I'm on board with that. If somebody was interested in getting a good batch of Fomapan 100, I would be on board with that for sure. True film. Foma only offers 100R and 16mm double 8 and double Super 8. So they don't slice it, huh? Yeah, I bet it looks fantastic. I've never shot it on 16mm. I've only shot Foma still film. Pack all of my 16mm subs except for you keeping that H16 out, huh? So there's a couple of things I want to ask you guys. All right, pay attention. My buddy at Kodak retired recently, and I want to bring this up. What a great guy. And he was at Kodak for 39 years. But a couple years ago, he was like a quality control manager. He had his hands in a lot of stuff over there in the film department. But he sent me 2 rolls of film a couple years ago, and I'm tired of sitting on them. I want to make use of them, and I'm curious. I want some ideas. Maybe you guys can help me figure out what to do with it. Let me show you. You guys will laugh when you initially see it. This is what he sent me. And you may have seen me. I talked about this a couple years ago. Check it, you guys. Huh? Hey, Gordon's here. Better late? Yes. Alright, that's the film he sent me. Alright, let's look at the expiration date. Kodachrome is on the left. Kodachrome, January of 78. The Ektachrome, July of 79. So they're, let's see, like 48, 47, and 48 years old, because you add a couple years to those expirations, and that's about when they were manufactured. So I have those 2 rolls of film, and they're in my freezer right there. They've been in my freezer since the day I got them. That they were overnighted to me from Rochester. They have been frozen their whole life at Kodak. A Kodak representative owned them, and he kept them frozen, and then he brought them back to Kodak, I believe, in the early 90s. They kept them frozen in their stuff, in their freezers, and then they just have been there forever, frozen. And so he sent them to me, and he said, I think you could get some good use out of these. What are we going to do with them? I don't know what we're going to do with them yet, but they're still in my freezer, and it would be so interesting to see what we could do with 47 and 48-year-old film stock. I would probably do my best to try to use the Ektachrome, even though it's the early Ektachrome that has the it's the EM24 process, and it has the emulsion that's super soft. So you got to be careful, but it would be nice to try it in color. I would just have to use modified E6 to, you know, to modify the temperatures and things, which I would experiment with other films to get that, try to nail that down first. But I got to figure out what we're going to do with it. And I'm not even, be honest with you guys, I don't know what films, what speed to shoot it at. I really don't. I've never shot with film that old that you can almost treat like it's new. And it still deteriorates in the freezer, don't get me wrong. But not nearly as fast. Lucky. Bonnie says, and you are lucky, Filmboy24. Filmpan 100 is in 16mm now for 33 euros per roll. Wow. But see, you know, once you add shipping to get it to the States, I would love to shoot that stuff. To me, that's very similar. It's got a very similar flavor to Plus X. Eastman Plus X is the best yeah. Plus X is fantastic, but they don't make that anymore. If I could get Plus X, it'd probably be the only black and white I'd ever shoot. And I have an exorbitant amount of Plus X here at my house. I mean, thousands of feet of 16mm Plus X. But it's all, I mean, it's old. All of it is old. Jeffrey says, Mike, you should make a channel intro video using Super 8 film for film. Yeah, I know I should. I did that goofy little one that I have now, just in a few minutes in Photoshop, but that would be cool. That would be very cool. That's a really good idea. I'm trying to beef up my channel a little bit to make it a little more appealing, make it a little more banana appealing. Box said, oh, box speed, I got you, and or bracket. Yeah, I would have to bracket it. I just don't want to waste too much of it, you know. So I mean, I could bracket it, but which side do I go? I mean, you're only got 50 feet of film, so I have what I have, and I can't. It's not like I can develop a little bit of it, see how that turned out, and then use that for the rest of the film. So I could do a third, and a third, which might be smart. You know, shoot maybe 2 stops under, box speed 2 stops over, something like that for each roll. And you're still getting, I would probably do 18 frames per second, and I'm still getting a good solid minute for every, you know, for every one. So that's not a bad idea, Mike. Question, did any brand make bigger size camera 8 or Super 8 for the reason to take a cassette of film, not with many meters in film, not free film like the Russian? Jim, I'm thinking, I think you mean, did they make cameras that accepted larger, in Super 8, larger cassettes? And the answer to that is yes. I think that's what you mean. Hang on one second. So, Jim, I'm not 100% sure if that's what you're asking me, but Kodak made these. This is a Super 8 film cartridge, sound film in this. And what you would do, not every camera, there was only a few cameras that would take it, and I have a couple. They're over there. I'm not going to dig them out right now, but essentially, you would buy these. This is a 200-foot reel of film. You see that? Let me see if you say anything on here now. This is old Ektachrome film. These are really cool. They're extremely difficult to reload. I'm not going to mess too much with them. This one's new. I actually opened this on a live stream once, and it's a sound cartridge, so you can see your sound head of your camera connects here, and there's the picture there. But this has 200 feet of sound film inside it. I have 2 of these. One of them is still sealed back there. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I believe they also had, for regular rate, they had a couple of cameras that would accept larger, maybe even 400-foot reels of film. Finally got in. Hey Jim, how are you, buddy? I finally got in. Tech issues on my end. You're here. That's all that matters. I'd say add one stop with the freezer stored stuff. Yeah, you're probably right, Christian. That's probably what I'll end up doing, and I'll probably shoot it in one of my Canon 1014 XLS and just do the exposure compensation up one, and hope for the best. Shoot them outside. Do you think I should take a chance on trying to develop that Ektachrome in color? I don't know. It's old Ektachrome, the 160, that does not do well. Hey Russell, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see what's this here. Let me look at something really quick. Okay. Sorry guys. Hey, hello from Italy. Gianluca. Please correct me if I did not pronounce that right. I am not great at pronunciations, but I'm going to go Gianluca. Over X for sure. Yeah, definitely over. Okay. Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's Kodachrome and it's old. I shoot old Kodachrome from the 2000s, and I have to overexpose it by a couple of stops. So I think you guys are right on point. But my question is, you got any suggestions on what to shoot? I don't know if I'm just going to film Piper or, I mean, what, I don't know. Or maybe Jeffrey's onto something there with the intro. Maybe I use that to try to do an intro. I think Noah from Analog Resurgence did that once in a video. Can't remember. Did what? Oh, for the intro. Yeah, I don't think he shot it, but he put it together. He may have. He's a smart kid. Analog Reset, Noah kid. Noah Henderson, I think is his name. But, yeah, I liked his intro a lot. I like the 70s music. He had it going on. He doesn't do a lot anymore. He doesn't post very many videos anymore. Dr. Smith, oh the pain, but I didn't warn you already. I mean, I did. Remjet says, whoa, never seen that before. Yeah, they're really cool. In fact, the guy that shot Killer, you guys know the film I love. It's my favorite Super 8 feature film ever. He said he had some investors, and when he was shooting without them on set, he would just use the 50-foot carts. But when they would show up, he would pop one of these on the camera to make it look more professional. Because now you got a little Super 8 camera, but it's got this big magazine of film on it. Jim Cahill says 200 feet of Super 8 film that would run 10 minutes at 24 frames per second. Plus, those rolls could be completely back wound for multiple exposures. I knew about the running time, but I did not know that they could be completely back wound. Is there no pin in there that stops them? I mean, that's good to know, Jim. I have seen images of some H8 cameras with... yeah, I thought there was 400 foot. There's some regular 8 400 foot mags, I thought. Hey, you're here for a quick minute. Thanks, Dave. Dave Knopp from Knopp Top is here. If you guys don't watch Dave Knopp's channel, and he does a lot of shorts, but they're really good. They're very well put together. Dave knows what he's doing. I don't. Dave knows what he's doing when it comes to putting little short videos together. Mike, is there a way of testing before shooting the whole film? I wish there was, but there's not. Short of pulling the film, reloading it into a reloadable cartridge, shooting a small part of it, back in the dark room, taking it apart, cutting that little part, reloading what's left, and I don't think I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, and I think the consensus was probably over by a stop, maybe 2, maybe 1 stop on the Ektachrome, 2 stops on the Kodachrome, and keep my fingers crossed. I mean, it's almost 50-year-old film. Even if you develop for color, wouldn't the black and white component come out? Yeah, It should come out okay, but my biggest fear is I'm now using I'm using a color process that wasn't meant for this type of film, and then I'm now altering that color process that wasn't meant for this type of film. I'm just trying to give myself the best opportunity to get, you know, something decent out of it, I guess. Film Piper, yes. She's always a good fun subject. Hey, Shane's here. Shane says, old color film, the emulsion sometimes just melts in color developer from my experience at least. Yes, Shane, you're exactly right. I posted a picture, I have one somewhere, and that's happened to me several times. But that is typically film that was meant to have a pre-hardener for the emulsion. See, when they first started making Ektachrome 160, it required a pre-hardener step, and it was to solidify the emulsion. Well, they changed that in 1981, I believe, and they changed the emulsion, thus changed the process as well. So if you find Ektachrome 160 color film, and it has a developed before date of, to be safe, 1984 or newer, then you shouldn't have any trouble because that emulsion is already hardened and it shouldn't fall off. Now, I'm not saying it won't reticulate and start peeling, because that happens too. That's just from age. But as far as I know what you're talking about, Shane, and you're absolutely right. I've had it completely come off and it looked like a snake inside my tank, like it shed its skin. Use the number of years of film and drive that many miles from your home to film. Oh, use the number of years of the film. Interesting. So, okay. So it's from 79 and 78 expiration. So what is that? 78 would be 46 years. So I got to go 46 miles. That's about Altamont Springs. And 47 miles, right? Or 45 miles for the 79. Okay, I got you. I'm probably way off. I'm not great at math. That's not a bad idea, Dave. Jim says, yes, thank you. It's like the external magazine and special camera. Yes. Yes. And as far as I know, that's the only attachment for regular Super 8 cameras to add. They never had like 100-foot attached, unless it was custom made or DIY. This was the only way to get more film in a Super 8 camera that I know of. Hey, Ben's here. Good mornsternoon. Hey, Ben. Let's see. Christian says, Michael, I say try and shoot something more daring. People doing some acting, no need to go totally serious, but just something like that, but to lower the risk, shoot fresh stuff, just an idea. That's a great idea, Christian. I thought about shooting some sound work with it. Use my Canon 1014 XLS. They're not crystal sync, but they're really, really close, and I can get them to match. And then do external, you know, the double system sound, and actually maybe do some dialogue work with it. I think that would be fun. The Nizo 6080 and 6065 and Booyoo 6008 would completely backwind those 200-foot mags. Well, that's really cool. That is really cool. Huh. I know there are Super 8 cameras that are backwind, but you're not supposed to go farther than about 72 frames because the film just bunches up inside the cartridge. It doesn't actually turn. But that's interesting to know on those. I didn't know it would actually turn the take-up reel. Okay, got more crap dropped off. Yay, you're a busy bee. I got the exposed films and I haven't sent you packed for the new place. So it's not the unit I go. You send them whenever you're ready. Find a construction site and film that. There's doing a whole bunch of construction right across from my oldest daughter's school. Lots of construction going on over there. That'd be kind of fun. It'd be kind of fun if I could get permission to just time-lapse some of it. So, all right. So we made it. We made it 42 minutes in. And I got to tell you guys, I'm feeling a lot better. Maybe this is all I needed. If you just joined the stream late, I get vertigo occasionally, like once every 3 or 4 months. And I had it really bad right when I was starting the stream. And I almost canceled. But I'm glad I didn't because I feel a lot better. I'd steer clear of school. Yeah, I don't want to be caught at a high school filming. Thank you, Mike. Oh yeah, Elmo Ilford TL8 is a regular 8 with a large magazine. Yeah, you can imagine how long you could shoot regular 8 if you had a 400-foot magazine at 16 frames per second. Man, you could shoot a feature film on one roll of film. Jim says, Mike, I just sent you the sales brochure for the NISO 6080 and read the special effects paragraph. I believe you, Jim. There's no doubt I believe you. I think it's fascinating. Anytime you can rewind film. The 1014 XLS will rewind a short amount, like 5 seconds, to do dissolves, which I plan on doing. I started writing a nice long list. My 1014 XLS video is coming out in the next couple weeks. I'm going to do a complete breakdown. Be a little lengthy. I had some guy comment on one of my videos today that something like, I appreciate the video, but it could have been 5 minutes long. It's like a 25-minute video of some breaking down a camera or something. He's right, but I guess every video could be 5 minutes long, but they could also be 2 hours, so, you know, doy. Anyway, what else did I want to tell you guys? Okay, I talked about that. Good. I want to start getting into this more also. I have these. How many of you guys shoot this? This is the Minox rather, stuff. And the Minolta MG and the Minox EC. These are those little cameras, those little tiny ones, like on Fletch. Come on, you guys know Fletch. Oh, is that right, Jim? Okay, yeah, I knew it was somewhere around there. But I really want to experiment with these little tiny. Look at the size of this camera. That's the Minox EOC or EC, and you take pictures. There's actually film in it, and I need to pull it. It was when I bought it. It was in there. Yeah, they're like little spy cameras, and you open it. There's a little excuse me, I got the hiccups. A little shutter. See the little orange button, yellow orange. We're gonna take a picture. You can't hear it, but I did. And then you close it and open it, and that winds the film to the next frame. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know much about these. I've never used it. The Rolly 35 is as close as I've ever gotten to a little spy camera. My little Rolly 35. Yeah, 007. This one comes with a little flash attachment, which is kind of cool. I think that's what that is. But this is the film it takes. I don't think this is open. And this expired in September of 1974. Look at the size of these little cartridges. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. But this is the little box that the film comes in. The little holder of the film. It's just so tiny. The film is so tiny. I'm not positive how I would process it yet. As far as like what container to use to be able to process the film. But I've never seen a camera this small before. Outside of maybe Steven sent me one that takes 110 film from Kellogg's, that little Kellogg's thing, Steven, it's on my desk over there. You just snap the 110, you're basically holding a 110 cartridge. And then this is the Minolta MG, I think it's called. The Minolta 16 MGS. Mine, I've never used it, but mine's in kind of rough condition. This is the other one. I think this is kind of the size of the one that Fletch used. But it has, you open the front. You're not going to be able to see this. And it has your telephoto and wide angle viewfinder there. And on the bottom is where you put your film in. You open the bottom. And this camera takes a little cartridge. Takes a fun little cartridge like this. This one's empty, but I'm going to fill it. I processed some for a lady and kept the cartridge it was in. Just takes these little, can you see that? Let me get it over here where maybe you guys can see it better. Takes these little cartridges and you just plop it right in. Plop it right in. Sits flat in there. Can you see that? It's flat. You can't see it. Pop it out when you're done. Boom. So we're going to start experimenting, I think, a little bit with spy cameras. Spy cameras. Ooh, I'm missing a lot. I'm sorry, guys. But I get excited when I get these little cameras out. So, okay. Is that the Minox Spy? Yeah, Ben, that's what it is. Oh, Jeffrey, you got two of them. You got the Minox. And they're not expensive. They're not that bad, really. I think you can get them for... I don't know what I paid for this. I may have gotten this one at the flea market. 800. Bonnie says 800 feet of 888 is just under 1 hour. Isn't that crazy? So we get a 400-foot roll of 888, and you get a half an hour film. That's insane. Oh yeah, sub mini time. I'm dying to try them. Steven says, got a Minolta MG but haven't shot it. If you do, let me know. I want to know how well it works for you. It is 007. I missed most of Ben's camera show due to being so busy moving. Yeah, his is great. I had a good time. I didn't catch it all, but I caught part of it, and it's good to see Ben back in the live stream game. He does his on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time for me. His time, he's in the UK, I believe. It's 7 p.m. his time, but 2 p.m. is right smack dab in the middle of when I'm picking Piper up from school. So I had it on my phone, but it was a little tricky to catch the whole thing. It's always fun when he live streams. Those are fun when they work. Are they not very reliable, Mike? I know you probably got 40 of them. My dad took a lot of our early family photos on one, but it was slide film, so you can blow it up on the wall. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to get, I know they don't make this anymore, but there is a company that may be able to slit some of it, because I don't think there's any perfs or anything on this film. Also bought one roll of E100 in 120 a few days ago, just $28.68 for E100. That's a little, that seems a little high, Bonnie, for a one roll of 120. I know it's Ektachrome 100, but Ektachrome's expensive, the new 100, but it's a great stock. Ben says, last week I shot 10 rolls of expired film found in an attic by my friend, expired in the 90s. I had them developed in the lab and scanned them myself. They look great mostly. Wow, that's awesome. Now that's making use and not getting rid of it. I love that. Love it. And thank you for preserving that film. A lot of people, they find that stuff and it's junk and they just throw it out. I'm glad you did that. 60mm cameras are so fun. I have a Visca Wide 16 panoramic camera. Remjet, is that a still camera? Because that would be really cool. Hey, very cool. Thanks, Russell. Love and spy movies when no attention is paid to the lighting and secret documents, but they look perfect when they show them. I shot some Vision 3 250D was expired, and it was, I know, Lyle sent me pictures of that. Let me know when you get those negatives, Lyle. We got to pin that down. To me, I feel like it looked like, to me, it looks like something that would happen if it went through an X-ray machine. I don't have that. I won't show people's photos if they don't tell me to, so I don't have those, in here. But if you want me to show those photos, I'll put them in next week and let people see, and they can kind of help maybe determine what happened. Lyle bought some film, some 35mm film, I think probably on an auction website. There's one huge one on the internet. And he spooled it down and shot some in a 35mm camera. And he did some tests on ISOs and things like that. And there's almost a distinct, weird light leak pattern, like a leaf pattern kind of thing in the middle of each film, each frame. But it doesn't look like a light leak. It's not bright, it's not orange, it's not red, it's not, relatively faint, but it's definitely there, and it's an issue. Aperture, shutter, speed, who cares? Well, this one, on one of them, you can set most of that, though. But you're right, who cares? In movies, they don't care. They just pull it out and click it. Steven says, an Etsy seller called Film Stuff Labs makes 3D printed. I know, I have them bookmarked, Steven. Travis showed me that guy, and I have him bookmarked for when I'm ready for the Patterson tank. I bought one, but haven't used it yet. I want to get one. He makes them for, he 3D prints them, and he makes them for disc film. You can do 3 discs at once. Because right now I just throw them in the tank, and I don't like that. Yeah, I like that. He's reasonable, like $25 for something like that. Really cool. I thought about letting him know, hey, if you send me a couple of them, I'll do a video for you. Where am I at? Sorry, guys. Put some 35mm in a pasta cutter and load up those. You can buy, Russell. You can buy the. You can specify. People will make little cutters for you. It's really kind of neat. And you're right, 35mm, pull it through, and you get like 8 rolls. And you could, yeah, that's a great idea. Have you ever looked into East German spy cam film stuff? They have movie cameras in cigarette boxes. I've seen those, but I've never had one, but those are really cool. X-ray like 15 times. I know. That'd be my only guess, Lyle. New theory, static. I don't know. I don't know if that would do it or not. I mean, I guess it could. Uses a swing lens, like the tiny. I gotta look that up. What was the name of it again? You told me. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up. Visca Wide 16. I want to look that up because I love stuff like that. Visca Wide 16. All right, I gotta look at that and see what that's all about. It's funny because my paper here's got dust and stuff all over because I open these things up. New theory, static. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know if static would do that. It might. Rimjet, that sounds, I know it does sound cool. Minolta 16 died the day Kodak brought out the Pocket Instamatic 110 format. I have 2 Minolta 110 SLRs and the Pentax 110 kit. Used to develop Lomo Orca film with. Yeah, I like that little Pentax kit. Is that the one with the interchangeable lenses? I really want to get one of those. I've been keeping my eye out for like a whole kit with the lenses and everything. I think those things, they look like little mini 35mm cameras. Those things are awesome. I really want one. My question, Jeffrey, maybe you know this, if that's the camera you're talking about, I think it is. Can you reload your own? Because I know how to reload the 110 cartridges, but can you, somebody is texting me, that's Bonnie, but can you, does it have to be perforated? Because some of the older cameras, those slender ones, if you reload with like 16mm film, it won't work because the perfs are different. I just looked at the Film Stuff Lab Etsy and he has reels for mine. Oh, I did not know that. Maybe that's what Steven was telling me. It'll be a while before I'll find out if the Elmo works. Jedediah, hey, how are you? Hey, Mike, I actually printed some of the disc jigs and a 110 jig. I haven't used them yet. Awesome. Oh, Jedediah. Jedediah is, if you guys don't know, this is Jedediah. It's going to take me a while to get used to that name. It's, is it Jeffrey? I got your card. I'm sorry. No. Jedediah is another Jeffrey. But Jedediah is the one that sent me this, which, by the way, is gorge. Jeff, yeah, Jeffrey, right? Yes, Jeff. And Dawn, your mother is Dawn. Yeah, they own the business, guys. I was telling you earlier, Pixology Digital Solutions in Virginia. When I do the video, you're going to get all the information on them. They're great people. But I did buy this. I'm dying to know if that works, Jeff. Yeah, I'd love to have a disc one for my Patterson tank, and then one for these, for like, well, 110 I already have. I made one for 110 because I do 16mm in it. But I bought this, guys. I dropped my Lomo tank the other day and I cracked it again, and I use it every day just about. My UPB-1A, the 50-footer. So my wife says, well, you use it every day, you need a new one. So we bought this. It's hit and miss. These are all old. I mean, from the 70s. I just got this from eBay, an eBay seller. I should have had his name handy for you guys, but I don't. But it's unbelievable. I've gotten a few of these. It came with everything. It's absolutely, I don't think it was ever used, ever. It looks mint to me. I know we're going to end up going over a little bit. That's okay. Look at this thing. This is how you can tell, by the way. Well, you look, if it's all beat up, then you know, but this is how you can tell. Where's my other tank? Oh, it's put away, but look at these reels. They're crystal clear. No, there's nothing on them, and I do a lot of remjet based film, so, and just film and chemicals in general, they get, I mean, you look at my reels that I use every day versus these, it's night and day. Mine are almost, they're discolored to the point where there's no mistaking that mine is used. And these little tabs on the corner, can't really see them, can you? See that tab? There's one on that side and there's one on that side. Well, I've broken both of those off and re-glued them, and that's what locks the lid down. So I got tired of, and then the tank itself was cracked all the way down from dropping it, and so my wife said, well, we got to get a new tank, and I agreed with her because she's always right, always. So I got a new tank. Ooh, I'm losing my chair here. Christmas in August, you're right. Yeah, it's so clean. Like I say, I've bought a few of those tanks. That's the cleanest one I've ever had. Yes, Jedediah, I want one. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Jedediah, Jeff. We're gonna have to get him involved in. We're gonna get him in a little business venture going here. He knows what he's doing with this 3D stuff, so yeah, we'll work on that one of these days because we might have to buy some stuff from him. I've never owned an Elmo 1012, but what I have been told, those cameras will drive any Super 8 car, even jam ones. I have a 1012 right here, and the only thing wrong with mine. Yeah, and by the way, these will take, I believe, yes, they will accept the 200-foot cartridge. The only problem with mine is the filter switch right here. It's got gaffer's tape over it right now, and it was just completely missing. It was gone, and that's the only issue with mine. It's not a bad camera. There's some good and bad about it. I've used this on a couple of videos. I've done, you know, the 20 camera challenge or the 10 cameras, one roll of film. It's not a bad camera. I don't not like it. There's a few things that aren't fantastic about it. Jedediah says, I printed out a 50-foot GNAL, but I have some ideas to make work a little bit better and be stackable. Whoo, whoo, whoo. They made one, I think, Jeff, that had 8 layers. They were a fortune if you could even find them. I would love to be able to do more than 2 rolls of film at a time. You got to be careful, though, when you do that. You got to be super careful if you're going to do 2 rolls of film at a time. And I'm going to show you guys why. It will bite you in the backside if you're not careful. And I do 2 rolls most of the time, but here's what will happen. Actually, I should just take the reels out. So when you're loading this tank, or the spirals, I call them, because that's what they are. When you're doing one, it's a piece of cake. There's nothing to it. I don't have the spacer on here, so it's not going to lock down. But when you're doing one, you got your film in there, you twist it down, and then you start winding. Now, it's, again, I don't have the spacer, so it's loose. And you can tell if your film is going to jump these grooves or anything in there, because you can feel through this top layer right here. Because your cap here you can put your hand through and you can feel. When it's down, you can feel the film and go across it like you would a piano. Brrring. If you're doing 2 rolls at a time, let me tell you, kids, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because now you're loading your film this way. Your film is started inside, right? Now, as you're spinning, you're just praying to whatever film gods you pray to that your film is stacking properly inside there. And there's nothing worse than when you're done and you have the top layer on there and you pull the film and you look at the edge and it's all the way down in there because the film just stacked on top of itself. But there's no way to check it because you can't feel through the top of this. This becomes your top cap on the bottom layer when you're doing 2 rolls. And again, when you do that second roll, it's fine because you can feel if the film is stacking up properly. So it's a little bit tricky, you know. I mean, there are things you can do to minimize that. And I just take a little, I have a little thing that I keep in the dark room, and I kind of just barely touch on the edge when I load that first one and fight. And if there's resistance, I know the film made it all the way to the outer edge and I should be relatively safe. Not always the case though. Just have to be careful. But more than 2 rolls would be fantastic for those of us that develop a lot of film. Anyway, I just wasted a lot of time on that, didn't I? We are 1 hour and 5 minutes. Ooh, what'd I miss? Lyle, yeah, on fire. Christmas. Whoa, that's clean. I've never seen one that clean. Why reload when you can buy fresh 110 film already in the cartridge? By the way, if you buy very old Patterson spirals made of clear plastic, have a stock 16mm width. Oh, the old ones do, Jeffrey? I didn't know that. Yeah, it does look brand new. Because I have so much film, Jeffrey, so much film, and I like mixing it up. And I know you can buy them new. I think Lomography has them and whatnot. But it's just, I mean, why process my own film, you know, when I could send it to a lab? I love doing it, so I like to load my own stuff. I just like to do everything that I'm able to do. I don't develop, but I am jealous. Don't be jealous. They will take 200-foot carts. Yes, you're right. This will do 200 feet. Useless fact: I bought a 64 gig flash drive earlier today. That is pretty useless, but it's interesting as well. Remjet flash drives. We don't need no stinking flash drives, man. Flash drives. I'm too scared to do 2 at once for that very reason. It's risky, and that's why I don't do it with customer film. But I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I've been doing it for a long time with my films, and I've bungled a couple, but it is risky. Any updates on the Tri-X projects? Well, let's just ask everyone. Where's your Tri-X, people? No, Lyle, I haven't really heard from anybody on it. If you got your roll of Tri-X for our fun little experiment, Mike, Dave Knopp, I don't remember everybody. Jeffrey sent me his back about 2 months ago. Get going, get rolling. Mike says, I can't help but think there must be another way to develop 50 to 100 feet of film with flat, horizontal layout rather than circular and large square with shallow tanks. Oh, crap. You had to bring that. No, Mike, you're absolutely right. And there is way. I mean, you're right. There has to be ways to regulate one simple tank to another, and that's what I've always wanted to do. Just make something that's easy to do. You're right. I mean, there's got to be a way. I mean, the key is keeping the film separated and dipping it into temperature-controlled baths. That's it. Is it true that Rolly brings... Yes, Lyndon, it is true. They're bringing out the Rolly 35 something, like AB or AF or something like that. Yes, it's absolutely true. It's $800 US, which in my opinion is worth it. Now, convincing my wife, well, she's easygoing. Jedediah, interested in 16 millimeter 100 foot when you get the bugs worked out. Yeah, Gordon, I am going to put that thing through a bunch of tests, and I'm going to get back with him. And he said he's definitely not against possibly, you know, printing some for people. But I can't speak for him. That, you know, that's his time and his machines, and you know, I can tell you that the way it looks, it honestly, the feel and the look of this is better than my original one. The only thing I wish, and he didn't design it, it was designed, it's open source. I wish they would have designed it around not the UPB-1A, but the actual 100 foot 16 millimeter tank, because this can't really be used in anything other than an open tank unless you design your own. This is just an old oil pan that I got at the dollar store, but it fits perfect. There's no play at the bottom. So you have to do it in a dark room, but that's fine with me. The hard part is the spirals. Yeah, no worry, Lyndon. Like large 4x5 systems. Mike, no pressure to develop the film, but I am aging. I'm not younger. You know, initially, Jeffrey, I was like, I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to process all the films together. There's 6 of us, myself included. But it kind of, yeah, I may end up just having to develop yours. Filmomatic processor. I just, yeah, Jeffrey, the Filmomatic processor would be great. That was for, I believe, was it, what's the film? The microfilm. But it has to be adaptable. And there's a guy Victor in Ukraine that developed a machine that's beautiful. It's very similar to the look of that, but it does remjet film, it does E6, it does anything you want to throw at it. It's beautiful. Rolly 35 AF. Okay, a few people have got them and have reviewed them. Google things. Oh, good things being said about it. I mean, it's a Rolly 35. Those cameras are awesome. Oh, the Filmomat. Never mind. Okay, did you say Filmomat? Filmomatic. I know what you're talking about. That's more of a dunk tank. It's automatic. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's decent, but it's too expensive. And it's more, and it's partially manual. I know that the film kind of goes in sideways, and it's like a fish tank kind of. It's a great little design. I just think it's a little too costly. For as, I guess it's pretty automatic, but kind of semi-automatic. I don't know. All right, I want to show you guys this film. Let me tell you, there's a fella. We'll call him Mr. A. And he's the guy that sent me a whole bunch of found film, 12 rolls. What he was doing is he was buying a camera, and if it came with a roll of film, well, I think he started buying cameras that came with rolls of film. And he would save those, and he would send them to me. And he sent them to me all at once, and he sent me a dozen of them. And he meticulously labeled them and everything. This particular camera was a Bentley BX720. You guys remember that plastic camera I did a video on? I shot some E100, Ektachrome 100D with it, and it came out awful. They're very, very plastic cameras. I would put them in the same category as the Lomo, you know, the Lomo cameras, the Lomo Kino. They're very just novelty cameras. The lens is even plastic. The Bentley BX720, he got the camera, came to him from Nevada. I don't know where the film was shot, but that's all we know. It's Vision 3 500T, and this film is going to demonstrate, especially for those of you that don't shoot a lot of film, and it happens to all of us, that it's not an iPhone. You can't just pick up a film camera, movie film or otherwise, and go out and pretend like it's an iPhone. You can't put the film in it, pull the trigger, and film anything you want, anytime or anywhere or any place or at any temperatures, any lighting. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to pull the film up. I'm going to get it queued up. It's about 3 minutes long, 18 frames per second. I processed it in my homebrew ECN2. I did not stabilize the film. I didn't even crop it. So you're going to see the perf I don't like, but just for the live stream, I left all that in there. Get your popcorn. Yeah, watch. This is crazy. I mean, it could have been a lot of fun. Clearly, it's kids having fun, but here's where you're going to see some issues with the exposure as well as focus. And when you go inside, here it is. When you go inside, we need some lights, kids. We need some lights. That's a good question, Russell. I see your question about the Rolly 35. I'm not sure. I used a Rolly 35 for about 6 months and loved it. But I would have to have the new one to know. Oh, the autofocus. Ah, that's right. I read their release. That's right. There was an autofocus function on it. So there's a couple of quick shots that they had in focus. Now I don't know if it was not this, but if it was on it, they just got lucky. Like some of this was probably because it was stopped way down, like f16 or 22 or something. I think it only goes to f16, which helps immensely with focus. But once we get back in and they're opening the lens all the way up, presumably this is what happens when you don't focus. Now I don't know if this is why they decided never to get the film processed, because they maybe figured it out after the fact. It, to some degree, Lyndon, probably, but not with the way the iris was set at. I don't remember how wide you can open this lens. I feel like 2.8, but if you're shooting at 2.8 at infinity, you're still going to be blurry. Yeah, Russell, those cameras are amazing. Jeff says, this was my fear shooting Super 8 for the first time and did a lot of research and refurbished my camera. Yeah, don't ever fear it. You'll only make these mistakes once. Well, I don't know about that. I do it still all the time, but this focus called Academic Cloudy. Like, this shot isn't bad, but of course you couldn't see her, so the framing was way off. Some of this, I have a feeling, when it's outside and bright and sunny, they probably opened the lens all the way up, which helps. Like I say, it helps a lot. Like this guy here, that wasn't terrible. This isn't terrible. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, why that's in focus. They're outside. That's it. So that's kind of the reason why I didn't do an entire episode on that one, mainly because a lot of it was hard to make out. Film looks like the camera lens is say that may have also been, Jim. You might be right. I hope they didn't get discouraged after this and gave up. Well, the problem is they never saw it because it wasn't developed. I don't know if they, unless maybe they, I don't know. Anything could have happened and the camera ended up getting sold and they didn't realize that the footage was still in it, maybe. So it'll come out great when I send it. That's all right. I hope the film I shot worked. My camera had no aperture, no light meter, but I kept everything 8 feet away and shot in the sun. Pew! See, you know what it is. Even guessing at focus distance will help. Absolutely. Get close, and especially if you're shooting with that lens wide open. I mean, closed down to f16. Security cameras has this focus, and thieves have been free. That's true, Jim. Can you check the picture I sent you? Oh, Bonnie, it's been a while, right, since you've done this to me. Oh, you didn't rickroll me. What is that? Is that a projector? Bauer Selection 2 film projector. 5900 KR. Give me an idea, Bonnie, of what that is in US dollars. This is a picture Bonnie just sent me a listing. Is that a 35 millimeter projector? Looks like it. I don't know how much 5900 KR, 35 millimeter, yeah. Yeah, she hasn't rickrolled me in a while. Good old Sunny 16. You can't go wrong with that, right, Jeffrey? Ooh. Yeah, what is that, Bonnie? 5900 KR. What is KR? I don't know what it... Projecting Rick Astley. I'm surprised she didn't. Swedish crowns to US is about 10 crowns per dollar. And what was that? 7,900? So 790? It's pretty decent, actually. That doesn't seem bad at all. It's the problem with that is where you're going to put it. I mean, how many of us truly have the space for a 35 millimeter projector in their home? I know I don't. Or 5,900, yeah. So 590. Wow. Guys, we're an hour and 20 minutes in, and it is time for me to bid adieu, plus $500 shipping. Yeah. So I'm going to have to let you go. I'm reading a note here. Nicholas, there's a guy that makes comments on my videos named Nicholas. He's a good guy, and he gave me, I've made a note to mention that he gave me some good information on my ES8 process. So thank you, Nicholas. I don't know if you're watching this after the fact. You know who you are. But anytime I get help from anyone, it just makes my processing better. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. No doubt the best Rickroll was... Yeah, that was a good one. Thank you, guys. Everybody. You made my day. You really did. I'm glad I didn't cancel the stream. Later, Gators. Thanks, Lyle. And barring, any crazy illness or unforeseen incident, then we'll see everybody next Sunday. I don't think we have anything going on. Hiya, Bonnie. Heyda. One of these days you're gonna tell me how to say that. Thank you, Nike. We're never giving up. What is this? She just popped out of nowhere. My Piper Rimjet. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Jim. Good video today. Goodbye, all. Goodbye. What should they do before they leave? No, that's next go around. What should they do?
Oh.
Smash the thumb button. Look at all the Pipers. Piper, hi, bye. Hey, Jeff Piper. All right, honey and black tea. Honey and black tea. Yes, I'm going to do that. Thank you. See you at Ben's. Yes, I think Ben's doing a stream this Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. his time, UK. Piper. Thank you, guys. Barry, Rimjet, Radios. Jeffrey, of course, but all the Jeffs, all the Mikes, the Gordons, the Russells, the Bonnies. Oh, I know I missed some. The Barrys. The Aaron is here. Hey, Aaron, how are you, buddy? The Jims. There's a few Jims in here. Jedediah is here. Guys, I'll see everybody next Sunday. I really appreciate all of you. Smash the like button. Peace. See you guys.